This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
This is Beaverville. Come on in.
It's Bob here. I got a question.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know what the day was.
Fast forward ahead.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Boy, that is good news.
It is the 30th day of May, 2025. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. My name is Chris Hockey. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Initials game, Marnie, Perry, and a cast. Thousands to get to today, and lots to report on going on in this big old world of ours. The weekend looks bright. It's going to be real hot and real nice, so let's get ready for it, shall we? Here's some comedy. Nate Bargatze, one of the classics. Starting off your Friday morning on the Power Trip Morning Show. Come on in now. I'm glad you're here.
You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women. And when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? They'd be like, it never crossed our mind to fight it. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy to just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are skinny. He's like, I know. That's what made me get in there as well.
Friday, we almost made it to the end of May. It's May 30th. This is the Power Trip Morning Show. I'm Corey Coe. That's Chris Hockey. That's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. Zach Halverson is here. And it is Friday, which means John Kriesel has entered the building. Hi, John.
Good morning.
Man, it was so cute to see you you and your granddaughter in Deadwood.
Oh, my God.
That was hilarious. And then he doubled down, too, because that's a chance to go, oh, yeah, of course.
Sure.
And he was like,
so he didn't even immediately apologize. No. So a guy says to Kries, is this your granddaughter, right?
He said, you have a very cute granddaughter. And you said, well, that's my daughter. And he didn't immediately apologize. No. He goes, oh.
Like still a little accusatory,
yes.
A little skeptical. Yes. Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure that's your kid? Oh, man.
It's funny.
Did he ask you about the Vietnam War? That's one of the best bits of all time.
It still happens.
That's crazy.
And I mean,
you don't look that old. What am I missing here?
I don't know. My wife actually gets annoyed by it.
Yeah, you think it's funny. You don't care.
She's like, I'm already banging a dude with no legs. I wouldn't bang a dude that was in the Vietnam War that age, you know? God bless her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a good bit.
It's funny. I don't care.
Dude, how was God's Country, though? It's the best, right?
It keeps getting better. Now Chloe is best friends with Wild Bill at the Saloon Number 10. She was devastated when we left. And awesome place. I love it. And it's kid-friendly. But I always look at it like, if I was her age, I'd probably get a little bored. Like, we go do stuff. She loves taking the trolley and the horse carriage. And one of the days, her and I just hung out. I was like, Kayla, you go hang out with Tim and Cara and go rage or whatever. And Chloe and I went to lunch, and like she was so chatty about life, and she's sad that kindergarten's ending and all this. And I'm like, I heard your point the other day about how your daughter, this is the end of being little.
Yeah, all the kids in her school are like babies, right? Because she's in 5th grade, but next year she's the baby, and all the big kids are
right.
The end of the innocence essentially starts for me in September.
Song. And this is the start of the end. That is a banger. That is the start of this is the start of the end of the innocence, where she's getting so grown. And I'm looking at pictures. This was year 5 of us going to Deadwood this weekend, or this previous weekend. And I see the previous pictures. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening, man. But so fun. I made my Saturday night comeback every time, where all 5 years where I've been down. And then now I didn't come ahead this time. All the other times I've made it ahead, but
just massively dented the losses.
Huge dent.
Always feels like a win. It doesn't matter, right? Even if you come up a little bit short, to wipe away your losses feels so freaking good.
It does.
I will say this about the lovely and talented Deadwood. Gambling in the week is tough there. It's tough. Gambling on the weekend, you do pretty well. That's always been my thing as well.
It was quiet there during the week when we got it. But last year and the year before, it was ripping during the week.
Was it?
Here it was ripping more on the weekend than it was weekends past. But
I don't know why I don't live there.
It's awesome. It's got to be a son of a bitch in the winter, though, man.
I know. I love it. I think I would love it.
It's just so pretty, and I'll always love Vegas. Vegas is not nearly as awesome now as it was 6 years ago. Not even in the stratosphere as awesome as it was 10 years ago. Deadwood, they're just so happy to see you. They treat you so much. It's so tiny, so I get it. But no, it was awesome. Met a lot of people, and there was quite a few. I played craps with some listeners, and
I love standing up there and looking down the street. And you know, we've all seen that picture of what Deadwood looked like in 1890. And you're standing on that same street, looking down that same street, thinking about, man, a lot of people got shot here. A lot of hookers got slammed.
We did the old time pictures.
Yeah, that's cute.
And in the lead up to it, she didn't want to do it, like in the previous month or so. And I told her, and then she's like, was scared. And on the way to school one of the days, I was like, so why are you scared? She's like, I don't want to go back to the old times. It's dangerous. And then
time traveling,
And I was like, oh man. I was like, Chloe, no, this is just, we dress up and they make the picture look black and white. And she was like, it's dangerous back then, and there's gunfights. And I go,
man.
I love that she thought you were asking her to time travel.
Yes.
That's the best, man. See, kids are the best.
The thing about that is, though,
and the worst.
You know, you had no idea in her little mind, she was so scared for a few weeks there that she had to travel back in time.
Well, we weren't going to do it then. I just said, your mom and I are going to do it, and then we're going to take photos.
Well, she has asked you to go back to the war.
Yeah. She
so
did.
Why not go back to the Wild West and get into some gunfights?
She'll be like, they thought you fought in Nam. Let's see if they thought you fought in the Civil War. Yeah, it was cute. And then they couldn't get her to, she was so serious.
Yeah.
That then when they're like, all right, ladies, you smile. Dad, you don't. Chloe, it was tough to get her to smile because she was in her mode.
Yeah, mean mugging it, right? She was in her, Calamity Jane mode.
She was expecting Wild Bill's come around the corner at any moment.
Exactly.
She had no idea.
It's so cute. I love that place.
It's the best. But you know what, dude? Honestly, that is, you have no idea when you're messing things up as a parent sometimes. You know? I mean, like, that's not a big deal, but you get my point. Like, no, of course we're not going back in time.
Right.
No.
And I understand how she could think that.
Of course, yeah, right.
So I just was like, no, sweetheart. Then she's like, oh, well, let's do it then. Awesome. And I'm like, cute little buddy.
Ever.
If you could travel back in time in Deadwood, I think a lot of us would go there more often. Right? Just to get away.
Yeah, that's what I'd be going there for.
I could be going there and find their Valentine.
But that's what I'm saying. You could travel back in time and visit the whorehouses of yonder.
But you guys got to know.
The days of.
You'd walk in here Monday and you'd be like, hockey. Son of a bitch, you smelled terrible.
Yeah, what happened?
Did you go back in time again?
No.
No.
Of course, the Wolves won the only game that I bet against them.
Yeah.
Of course, in the sports book, totally fine. I don't care. I bought a lot of rail whiskey for strangers. We met a lot of people
that's the best.
Because I had the Wolves shirt on, and someone's like, wait, didn't you bet against them? And I said, yeah, but I want my team to win still. Yeah. But if they lose, I want to be financially compensated. So, yeah, it was awesome trip. I don't want to wish away another year. No. But when it gets here, I'll be excited to go there again.
Yeah. Man, I got to go again soon. I have to. I love it. What am I thinking? Anyway.
Just go. And I was going to look because I know there's flights out to Rapid City.
Easy flight.
Only
part that's hard about that is walking all the way to the very last gate of the airport at MSP, because that's where the gate is to go to South Dakota.
Oh, it's in the A
gate? It's the last one. I mean, like, you can see where you parked your car from that gate.
I did that to Richmond a few weeks back for a speaking engagement, and I was like, I don't think because Bismarck, when I fly there for a speech, it's in the same concourse, but not all the way down.
Yeah.
I needed to use one of those Delta little carts instead of the lazy people using it.
Yeah, right.
Well, if we're going around the room with John Kriesel accomplishments, not only do you have a successful trip to Deadwood, you had a successful match yesterday in Program Password with a great partner, Mark Rosen.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
He brought his A game. I knew he was he wanted to win because he walked in. He was like, if you have any power trip bits that you want to use during this for clues, he's like, feel free. And I said, no. Paul and I have tried that, and we get too cute. I said, we're going to play it straight up. He had some fire in his eyes. Unlike the Timberwolves, he had fire in his eyes. He had no quit.
So Rosie wanted to beat Common?
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Oh, yeah.
And because when they play just regular, they get in these pissing contests.
They sure do.
And then the game is secondary.
Oh, yeah.
This was all business.
All business.
I saw him in the hallway afterwards, and he's like, how about that? That was close. We ended up blowing him out. And I'm like, okay, Rosie, yes.
He was talking trash then to the ladies. I'm like, let's wait.
Oh, yeah, he was proud of that. Yeah. He should be. You guys killed it.
It was fun.
Who'd you play? I don't even know. I'm sorry.
Gorg and Common.
Oh. It was a battle back and forth for a while. It was good.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I even tried a little. Mill was tough. Grist, I thought, old man Rosen would have gotten.
I didn't know that word at all.
They had grist mills when he was a child.
Didn't get that bit at all.
Yeah.
But
I got the Meek reference.
The Meek was...
I was like, what the hell? Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rosie listens to Meek Mill.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then I was worried that Common would get it because his kids.
No, Common has no idea.
Never heard of Meek Mill. No chance.
No.
It's good to be back, fellas. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be back.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We got some. Hey, have you flirted with the idea of going overseas for the Vikings game, or is that something you wouldn't do?
No, I did last year for London. Now this year, my wife she booked plane tickets to Dublin for her and her dad.
Okay, yeah, right.
She can't get a hotel room.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh.
She can't get a hotel room or currently Vikings tickets.
I just got Rosie's going and he's got a spot for her.
Oh, perfect. Right next to him in the bed. That's fine.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
She can stay with him, he says.
Yeah. She tried Airbnbs.
I think a lot of those are booked too. Like she's been every day checking.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm guessing NFL book because Dublin's not a huge city. NFL books a bunch of them and then they will start releasing them. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
our buddy might have some for you too because he's doing a trip. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's something in there. But
something in there.
Do you care to go to Dublin at all?
I would, but this year there's too much travel.
Yeah.
If there is such thing.
No, there's not.
And Chloe will be first grade and I'll be dealing with that. So, we'll see. It'll be fun to watch. I'll be firing up the Blackstone, cooking a breakfast.
Oh, so fun.
Dublin's super fun, but it's 10 times better on St. Patrick's Day than just a random...
You went during St. Patty's?
Yeah, we all did.
Way better.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
I've had fun there when it's just regular old day, too. I like it there.
I want to go there bad.
Super nice people.
Yeah, going outside of Dublin is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what she wants to rent a car and go. So I would rather go when it's not football because like last year, London was awesome. Glad I went. The lamest part of the London trip was the Vikings game. And I had a blast there, but it takes up a whole day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Agreed. The rest of the country is beautiful, but a lot of the spots you have to go to, it does take you the whole day to get there. Like the cliffs take you the whole day. Getting to Belfast, even with the train, takes you most of the day. Giants Causeway, most of the day. Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's fun, man.
If you're cool with like a 3 or 4 hour bus ride each way, and you want to keep your eyes on the, not on an iPad, on like what you're seeing. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a lot of driving to get to like the other locations. A lot of them are on the coast.
Yeah, good antique shopping, right, Hawk?
Real antiques.
Yeah, he took.
This is from 1292.
Abby and my wife antique shopping, and she came back with these like super nice glasses. Yeah. She had fun.
Like my buddy Matt, who loves antique, but they're antique women.
Hey, you know what? Don't knock it. You collect what you collect.
Yeah,
all right?
Yep.
You get what you can afford too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
These are 1962, circa 1962 piss curtains.
Jesus.
You know what? I must say this. Good year.
Yeah.
That's a good year.
That's a great year.
That's a good year. No doubt about it.
I don't know if that was arable, but it definitely just made quotes of the week.
It definitely did.
And if you break it, you buy it, right?
100%.
You know what? Good luck breaking that.
Yeah, brother. You got already you can't afford it.
That's been broken since the mid-'70s.
This is weird. Who brings us that content?
My wonderful friends at Gutter Helmet and GutterHelmetMN.com. Never clean your gutters again.
Interesting transition. Never clean your gutters again. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on the Fan.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hey, come on. They wrapped up the Timberwolves season yesterday with some press conferences. And here's Finchie's thoughts on the final game.
It don't matter if you lose by 40 or you lose at the buzzer. There's only one way that it ends well. So to sit here and ruminate about how the season ends or how much it hurts a fan base or how much it hurts a player or whatever or some long-suffering franchise, like every city, every sports team goes through the same stuff,
I agree with almost all of that except for the effort part, right? I just don't think the Wolves, if you lose by 40 and you truly gave it everything you have, no one's going to say this sucks. But
he's got to kind of say this, but that is preposterous. It does matter because a lot of people put a lot into this team, and that does matter. That does matter. They quit.
Yeah, they quit.
They completely quit. Ray Charles saw that they quit. He's blind and he's deceased.
He's dead. He's dead. Yeah, he's pissed about it.
Wow. Not just blind and dead. And he saw that Julius Randle didn't run back after those turnovers.
Yep.
In the end, the stat sheet, for sure, it shows up as a loss.
Yep.
But if they went down swinging, I think the reaction yesterday is that was great. And win another game. And I know that was a heartbreaker at home, that 2-point loss. They did it to themselves. They should have won. But the minute that game started, they hit the 3, all good. Once OKC just even started, ball game.
Right, you go back to the game that we lost by 2, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, unbelievable games out of DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like, the supporting cast was outstanding, right? We just didn't get much from the big 2. But it wasn't a lack of effort, right?
No.
I felt everybody on that team was giving everything they have. They just came up 2 points short, which was maybe why it was so heartbreaking. It's like, wow, we just played our A game and we couldn't keep up with them. That's, man, we need more out of Ann. We need more out of Randall. And then to have Randall play so badly in that first half in the final game, in terms of effort too, not just
body
the
language, the whole bit.
I'm not trying to defend Jaden, but like I said yesterday, Jaden was shooting open shots. They just weren't going. That's not necessarily effort. It just didn't drop.
Yep.
Parker Fox made a pretty good point yesterday. there might have been a reason he was left so open. Maybe they're just like, go for it.
Yeah.
You can't right now. You can't hit the broadside of a barn. So feel free to keep firing.
The Rubio effect.
That's how I felt about Draymond right after game 1 of the Warriors series. Like, all right, cool. You got off to a good start, but the rest of the series, like, fire away, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're overconfident. So anyway, point is I think Chris Finch is mostly right. Ultimately, it does not matter if you lose by 40 or 1. But if the effort is there, I think the fans can swallow it a little bit better than we are this week. Because, man, that 5th game was so infuriating. And it's not because we got run out of the gym. It was how we got run out of the gym.
Hello.
Let me say, too, I mean, even I know a loss is a loss. I get that. But even looking back at last year's Vikings game, we went, 14 and
3.
14 and 3. No, 15 and 2. 14
and 3 in the regular season.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, great season. All I remember is how badly we got beaten in that playoff game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and it was real bad.
Yeah, it was, and we got whooped. Maybe if we'd lost on a field goal, I'd have been like, man, we almost got him. What a game. No, we got crushed. That's all I remember about last season, even though it was a spectacular season.
Right. And that is how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, and they formed their whole off-season plan on that loss to the Rams.
Yeah, so
and the Lions.
And the Wolves will do the same, right? So what will they do? You know, I think they will with this regime, right?
Yeah, they'll if they got to bring back Tim Conley's got to agree to come back. I think he has an
Ted
opt-out.
McKinley has to come back, don't you think?
Yep. Who's that?
Who do you think it is?
Is it a president? Son?
So William McKinley's son is named Ted?
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, they'll do something.
You've probably been to his house.
Probably, yeah. They'll do something, but got to make sure Conley stays for the long term.
By the way, I should probably mention, because no one has, happy birthday to Ted McKinley.
oh, brilliant.
That's right. Yeah. Yep, he was the lady's husband on Married with Children. He's the guy who every time he's on a TV show, it gets canceled right after.
He also, most famously, was Stan Gable from Revenge of the Nerds.
Right, exactly, right.
Oh, yeah. He's in Shrinking.
It's his
yes,
birthday.
he is. That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know what, dude? You're right.
Yeah, he's A+.
I love that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
The
is
husband.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy, that's
the
a great
best.
show. I forgot. I didn't even realize that was him.
So, he was Jefferson Darcy, right?
Yeah.
On Married with Children? Because wasn't he married to Marcy Darcy?
That's right. Marcy Darcy. That's right, yeah.
And he was DJ the crane operator in Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Man, we know way too much about a former president's son.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, he's
Same guy.
great. Yeah, he's super good at that
He's
show.
going to be a big get for the squad.
Yeah.
Huge.
So hang on. I was focused on Ted McKinley's birthday so much. What were you saying about what Tim Conley's going to do?
Well, he has an opt-out in his contract, so if he agrees to stay long-term, and a lot of people expect he will.
Because of the ownership, right?
Because of the ownership.
Whether this is true or not, maybe Tim at some point, I don't know if he seems like a classy guy. I don't know if he'll just flat out say this, but the hot rumor was that if Glenn Taylor remained owner, that maybe Tim was going to find a different opportunity, but A-Rod and Lori love him, right? Yeah. That's the reason he's here, essentially. So it sounds like that was the more likely scenario of him staying is if they won the arbitration.
Yep.
Everybody wants Tim to stay. And I got to put it, apparently Tim loves it here.
That's good.
Fam loves it here. Kids love it here.
Especially now. Everything's so green.
Sure.
You wake up at 4 a.m. and the birds are already chirping.
Yeah, it's great.
Dude, Saucy, the area you grew up in, we're at the VRBO through today.
Yeah.
And so we took a walk, Abigail and I, for, 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
And we just went walking from that area where that ice cream shop is you worked at,
Yeah.
We walked all the way to downtown Wayzata, over by our guy, over by his, by Judd's shop.
Yeah, great.
So,
yeah.
Man, it's so beautiful. And there's so much going on. And there's so many animals and turtles and fishies and all kinds of cool stuff. And we ate at that Italian restaurant right there. What a great area.
Yeah.
And is that cigar shop you worked at the one on the opposite corner over there?
You are correct, sir.
Wow,
By Minnetonka Bottle, yeah.
Yeah, your entire youth was right there.
You are correct, yep.
What a great area.
And because of that cigar shop, I sit here today.
Compared to you.
Well,
most people did.
I got real lucky, yeah. Yeah.
No, it's just a great area. That was just a joke, but I mean, that whole area is like walkable and everything like that. And there's cool shops and people are nice and fishies are there.
Yeah, I was very lucky to grow up in that area. It's lovely, man. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of great people. Yeah.
Was that ever still a movie theater right there in Wayzata when you were growing up? By Judd's shop right there, where there's still an overhang right there.
Well, right by one of your favorite stores, Talbot's. Did you go in there?
I just stand outside there and let it all hang out, if you know what I mean.
I wanted to see who walked out of there.
That's right. Yeah, let it all hang out.
That I think so, but that may have been before me.
You know what I miss? That donut shop, man.
Oh, well, that's outstanding.
What a sad
I think they're all gone.
They're all gone.
I think there's a couple left.
The one in Edina's gone. The one in Wayzata's gone.
The one in your pants is gone.
Is the one downtown? The one in my pants?
Jake the Snake Roberts bought that place.
Oh.
He turned it into a wrestling store.
Happy birthday, Jake the Snake Roberts. Another trip around the sun for Jake the Snake.
A wrestling store? What do they do there?
What do you think they do? They wrestle.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jake the Snake.
It's one of my new favorite bits. It's, again, for people that don't understand what's happened in the last, what is it, about 2 or 3 weeks? Is we have this like prep service that gives us all the, just so we don't miss anything. It's like, here's all the stuff that happened overnight to make sure you guys don't sound like complete idiots, or at least more than you already do.
Yep.
Well, one of the things is essentially a 2-page list of here's all the celebrities that have birthdays.
Yeah.
In the last 2 or 3 weeks, Chris has tried to just subtly, randomly drop in these people's names. And we realized quickly, why did you come up with that name? Then it's that person's birthday. And now it's like Jake the Snake Roberts.
So good.
There's only one way you brought that guy's name up, and it's his birthday.
My favorite part was the 2 weeks you guys didn't realize what I was doing.
Yeah. Now it's half the fun. Ted McKinley and Jake the Snake Roberts.
So good.
So if you want to find out whose celebrity's birthday is today, I just said that backwards.
Yeah.
Just stick around for the next 3 hours. You'll hear the rest of them. Zach, your hands up.
The one in Lake Street in Minneapolis, Willette is still open.
Is it really?
Oh, really?
Okay,
Wow.
there you go.
Still holding on.
Interesting. Hey,
Good.
Snossage?
Yes, sir.
Have you read the upgrades for College Football 26 yet?
Yeah, I saw the trailer yesterday.
There's 2 of them. I'm pretty excited
Yeah, I'll buy it
I
again.
will buy it too.
Yeah, even though the last one was
Suckers.
fun for like 15 minutes.
You get to play high school.
Yeah.
You get to play high school mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were so jacked about that game honestly for about a week, and then you were like, "We're bored with it."
Well, the bit where you
so
played,
excited at first.
It's like your own character was really poorly done.
Yeah.
You played like a weird version of the game, and it just wasn't fun.
I just hated how hard it was, easy I was on the easy mode, and how hard it was on the very next mode. There
Sweet
was no
spot
in
wasn't
between.
there.
Yeah.
Well, it's got that dynamic bit like MLB The Show does, where it gets harder as you get better.
Yeah.
All right, Parrish in about an hour, Marnie in about an hour and change. Initials at 8:15 with $92,000 up for grabs with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union initials jackpot. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
There's a mode on the new college football game where you can marry a woman 50 years younger than you as a head coach.
Oh, brilliant.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
And have her be completely in charge of you.
Yeah, exactly.
After being a NFL dictator for many years.
Yeah, correct.
She seems lovely.
She does.
Let's do front page sports. Let's go around the world and see what's going on.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. Who doesn't like Red Bull?
I like Red
Wake
Bull.
up this morning at Holiday with Red Bull. Mix and match any flavors you want. Buy 2, get 1 free, including the White Peach Summer Edition of Red Bull, only at Holiday for a limited time. Check it out. Thanks, Holiday.
Red Bull's a part of my weekend, and on the weekends, you mix it with a little of that Jaeger.
You sure can. You can do that.
You damn right.
Well, the weekend's finally here.
Damn right it is. I'm a beauty.
The Edmonton Oilers beat the Stars 6-3. They win the series 4-1, and we have a rematch in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 2009. Just the 12th rematch in Cup history. And Saucy Saucerson, of course, I have the Oilers. You have the Panthers and the Parrish versus the Field bet.
Yes, sir.
DraftKings has it.
Even.
Dead even. Both teams minus 110 to win the Cup. So we are absolutely a 50-50 split with our bet going into the finals. Game 1 of the finals, Wednesday. Got to wait until Wednesday in Edmonton, where they are favored in Game 1. But again, it is even for the series. So Edmonton has home ice Which they think Florida's slightly better, right? If the series is even, yet Edmonton's going to get 4 games at home. Fractionally better. But we're talking even money. Love it.
Man. It'll be great. I can't wait. Go Florida.
I think the Oilers are going to do it.
I do
They
too.
are firing on all cylinders when it comes to offense. Zachary, you're the hockey guy. It just seems like the question might come down to goaltending, as most hockey series do. But you got Bobrovsky versus Skinner. I mean, isn't that always the problem?
Pickard, isn't it?
Isn't it? Oh, I thought Skinner. Isn't Skinner like half the time in Edmonton?
Principal from The Simpsons?
Not that one. Isn't Stuart Skinner like
the guy with the giant nutsack?
Is he not the main goalie, or is he just a rotational goalie?
You're probably right.
Oh, okay.
I'm questioning everything I've ever said and done in my life.
I promised myself I wouldn't believe.
To this.
Yeah, I mean it's watching last night too. Like everything, the Edmonton Oilers are firing on all cylinders, and they're getting bounces now, and it feels like they've learned so much heartbreak over the last however many years, and McDavid is just like, no more of this. None
it's
of
his
that.
time. Let's go.
So
Let's do it.
I think it's close. I think on paper it's close, but I mean, this is we're lining up to have I think a pretty good series. But I would not doubt that the Oilers just take control at this point, because the motivating factor, obviously, Panthers want to repeat, but we've learned time and time again how hard that is. And especially when you're as hungry as the Edmonton Oilers are, I think this is going to be a fun series, though. I don't know. I could see the Oilers taking it in 5 or 6.
God, I like when you talk.
Man, my Panthers are a machine, though, man. They've scored in their last 1, 2, 3,
And we want America to win.
5, 6. In their last 6 games, they lost 3-0. Other than that, they've scored 5 goals, 6 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals.
Only if she's 5-3.
State of hockey, man.
The New York Knicks won 111-94 over the Pacers. They stave off elimination, and that's about the only thing you can stave.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And when have you ever used the word stave in a sentence that doesn't involve staving off elimination? I've never used it once in my entire life. Right?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah,
So use it in a different sentence besides an elimination game in a sports postseason. Go.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I staved off a second breakfast this morning.
Not yet.
Buying that.
Yeah, not yet.
I mean, we'll see what Parrish brings.
The morning has
You're
just
fat.
begun.
Yeah, you're fat.
The
By the
Knicks,
way,
though.
you were right. It's Skinner.
You're heavy.
Skinner.
Pickard got brought up last night because Ottinger got pulled after 2 goals, and for some reason I'm an idiot.
Well,
So
it's
there
all
you
right.
go.
You promised yourself to never believe.
Yeah. And now you
Brunson had 32 points. The Big Cat had 24. So the New York Knicks stay alive, but Indiana up 3-2. Game 6 tomorrow in Indiana at 7 o'clock. The Pacers are 4-point favorites in Game 6, and they are still minus 360 to win the series. The Knicks plus 290.
It is nice to see a team actually not quit when they're down 3-1.
Yep.
Not used to seeing that.
It is nice.
Yeah, that was great.
That is fantastic. Sydney Sweeney is selling soap from her bathwater. Dr. Squatch is getting free advertising.
Great soap. I use that. Great soap.
Yep. Going to sell some soap infused with what they are claiming is Sydney Sweeney's actual bathwater. Couple of things here. How gross are guys?
I mean, just sell out.
Guys are the worst. I cannot believe you're like, I gotta have that soap.
I understand why
Just
women
put
stave
yourself-
off men.
Yeah, put yourself down if you're like, I have to have this. But Zachary, on social media, somebody posted a photo. It may have been. Was it AI?
Yes.
Of course it was.
So it was AI of JJ McCarthy in a bathtub, basically saying, "Who wants some of this soap?"
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Well, it's just, I mean, like 50 people tagged me in that.
Yeah. I didn't think I needed to when I saw that.
didn't.
No, I didn't think I needed
If the Vikings Pro Shop today sold JJ McCarthy bathwater soap, are you going Costco on it and buying in bulk? Or are you just going to buy one? Or are you going to say no, thank you?
No, thank you. I don't think that would interest me much at all.
What's wrong with your neck? You're like bobbing your head up and down.
As Hawk would say, are you
could
having
I
a fit?
see myself?
Chris, there's no way to ask you this without just asking you this. Would you want Sydney Sweeney soap?
Nah.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
And again, kink shaming is my kink. That's what turns me on, is to rip other people's kinks. But I can't imagine. No, if it's like, I want to watch Sydney Sweeney take a bath. Okay, that's a normal thing.
Where do I send the Venmo?
Right. Yeah. Read 50 Shades of Grey to her. She would love it. However, soap made from her bathwater? Who gives a rat's ass?
No,
but in all seriousness,
guys are weird.
That soap is A+. I love that soap. And when I saw that story yesterday, I just said out loud at my house, I go, God, men are too horny. And Kelly goes, yes, they are.
They really are.
That'll sell out instantly.
I think there's a very,
5,000, I think I saw.
Yeah, 500 or 5,000. It's a small number in the big scheme of things. They're going to be gone the second they make it available. Like, it'll be sold out within a millisecond, right?
Rosie.
But like, we're talking about the buyers, but like, what about the sellers here?
Agree.
Like,
it's a creepy sell too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it's going to make you a lot of money, but what cost?
Well, here's the kind of seller. This is what we're talking about here. Dr. Squatch says the soap has an outdoorsy scent. They described it as, quote, morning wood.
Yeah.
So
See, I read one article.
They know what they're doing.
Said it had a bit of fishy smell.
And if it works, you're going to see a lot more of it.
Oh, yeah. It'll sell out instantly.
I'll stick with the old spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's spicy.
Yeah. Whose bathwater is that?
Spice Channel.
Yeah.
That's hot.
The good old days.
Yeah.
So the Sydney Sweeney bath soap is real. The J.J. McCarthy bathwater soap is not.
I don't like it.
Yep, he doesn't like it, but Zach does. But Zach, sorry, buddy. Not real.
Oh.
Not going to happen.
No, that's cool. I don't want that at all.
Yeah, it's not Zach's thing.
No.
Convincing.
Yes.
Come on, John.
Mr. Z in a second.
I don't know, man. I read that there's that poopery.
Yeah.
There's Winona Judd scented poopery.
Happy birthday, Winona Judd.
Happy birthday.
Mr. Z is next. I saw Lilo and Stitch last night. I can give you a 30-second review on that. Did you see Mission Impossible?
No, I didn't see one in the theater. I saw one at home that I really liked that I'd encourage people. I'll tell you about that soon.
Power Trip Morning Show after this on the Fan.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Good morning, Suds and Kriesel.
Join us at Shields in Eden Prairie this Saturday from noon to 3 for TB1 Fun's Putt for Patience, mini golf, food trucks, bounce houses, prizes, and more, plus meet and greets with our own Paul Allen, Justin Gard, Marnie Gellner, and K102's Moss. Tickets start at just $5 for kids. Visit tb1fun.org for details.
Need to get a thing for PA that's not a meet and greet. It's like sponsored by like a pickle company. And it's like Pickle Tickle.
Yeah.
Pickle and a Tickle or something like that. Or
thick pickles, too.
Tickle me Elmo.
You know, like those giant church bits where people will walk up and essentially get blessed, right? Like they want to get like and then they all do the shaking. It's like and
then they fall.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. That whole bit. I don't know why I'm blanking on what all those things are called.
Faith healer.
Sure. Exactly. We should have PA be a faith healer, which he's close to anyway, and then stand on stage. But then when you walk up, instead of him like exorcising demons, he just touches your shoulders and then just very gently says whether you're a puppy or a baby.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
And it's just a giant line. Like, show up to Shields tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll raise some money for a good cause, and he will look into your soul and say, "You, sir, are a puppy." Mm-hmm. And then you walk away.
That's it.
And bark.
Yep. And exactly. You bark away, and then the next person walks up, and PA gently puts his hands on that person's shoulders. You are a baby.
Yeah.
And that person walks away, and this is like a 7-hour line.
I like this. 7 hours, though.
Oh, there's a lot of people that want to know if they're a puppy or a baby.
Yeah,
I've worked with them for 24 years. I don't know which one I am. I think I'm both. I think.
Stay tuned to 9 to noon today.
I guess. I don't know Sauce, which one are you? Are you a puppy or a baby?
I'm probably a baby.
Yeah, you do feel more like a baby.
Yeah.
Though. Zach, you a puppy or a baby?
I'm feeling more puppy today. I think it's a puppy Friday.
I don't know where that's going.
Yeah.
Mr. Z joins the show every Friday, almost every Friday, to talk about films. Hi, Mr. Z. Good morning.
Guys, what's up?
What up, baby?
I went to the theater last night. I got popcorn and sodas. I didn't even smuggle any snacks in because I want your industry to survive, you know? Saw Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. I have my kids love the original. Both of them are like obsessed with the, action figures, and they have Lilo and Stitch like blankets and all that, whatever, right? I don't think I had ever seen it start to finish. All the way through in one sitting. So I'd seen pieces of it. I got the gist of it. So I know a lot of people say it's exactly true to the real story, the original. I don't know if that's correct or not. I thought it was fine. It was fun.
Oh yeah. I think I mentioned last week that. As about my kids, somehow I missed that era. I didn't see the original. Of course, I'm very familiar with it. So, but. The only thing I said is sometimes you see a movie as an old man and you can enjoy it for yourself, and then sometimes it's one of the things that you kind of want to be around with your kids because they're going to enjoy it more than you are. And so I thought the same thing. I thought Lilo and Stitch was fine for me, but for young people, it was it was such a beautiful movie.
Yep.
Like the animation is really nice. So yeah.
Agreed. And the only thing that I was a little bit bummed about is I did not know Zach Galifianakis was in it, but his character was like the opposite of funny. So it sucks to have a guy that's one of the funniest people on the planet. And his role was not necessarily comedic, right? Not really, at least.
No, right, yeah, and it was all very, it's laid out nice and simple. You have bad guys and good guys, and you make it nice and clear which ones are which. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it did a ton of business.
Yep, both of my girls loved it as well, and that's like you said, that's the whole point. Yep, Chris, what movie did you see? Even though I know it wasn't at home,
I saw something on Apple TV. I saw the new John Krasinski movie, Fountain of Youth.
Oh yeah,
it is essentially. Have you seen it, Mr. Z?
I don't watch a lot of movies at home. My wife was watching it, and I stopped for 5 minutes. I said, well, good, because I was worried they made a movie that was good enough for the theater, but they didn't put it there. And then I watched it, and I went, oh, good. Now I know why it played on Apple TV. Holy smokes, about that.
Chris is going to talk about how much he likes it.
Yeah.
Chris loved it.
Well, I'm just a normal hillbilly, but I thought it was a good movie. And
what's the gist of it?
It's basically National Treasure and The Mummy kind of mixed into one. But I like John Krasinski. He's really good. I like Natalie Portman. I think she's really good. And there's some interesting things that happen. I thought it was really, really good. And I enjoyed it.
I'm sorry to rain on that. It was more from my perspective as I love Krasinski and Natalie Portman. Think about that.
Sounds like it.
They spent a lot of money to make a movie about the Fountain of Youth, and it looks really nice. It looks very high budget. It's basically Indiana Jones, and it's clever and it's fun. What a fun thing to do! Like we're actually looking for the Fountain of Youth. But for me, Apple TV is a good spot for it. Yeah.
So is Karate Kid out today? Is that the new one this weekend? Okay. So what's the deal here? What's the projection? Because I know people really liked the Cobra Kai series. Is the world ready for an actual full-blown Karate Kid movie? Are people going to go see this with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio?
Well, there's two answers. That the world is ready for one. This isn't it, unfortunately. I don't think. I don't know what happened to this movie. I've heard rumors that it was originally 2 hours long and they cut it down to 95 minutes. And sometimes people think, well, that's good. The movie went a little too long. In this case, it becomes a lot of montage. It doesn't really have anything to do with Cobra Kai. This one doesn't. It's nice to see, kind of some of the old sets come back from it's more of a play off of the original, and then like with bringing Danny LaRusso back. So I guess the biggest problem with this movie is it goes by the last hour where everything happens. The entire plot happens in the last hour, and they fit every scene is about 20 seconds long, it feels like, for the last hour. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that there isn't some fun to be taken out of it. It just leaves you a little confused as far as the editing goes.
Okay. And I know you like horror movies, and there's something called Bring Her Back that's getting pretty good reviews. What the hell is Bring Her Back?
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was I'm sorry, Hawk, if I ripped on one of your movies, but this is a movie this is the A24's kind of went off the rails the last couple months, including Death of a Unicorn, which is one of the worst movies of all time. They made, this is more like Talk to Her, Bring Her Back, really, really long, psychologically creepy horror, hard to explain the plot without giving too much away, but young people into foster care, dealing mixed together with. Bring Her Back. A24 is back on the rails with this one.
All right, I never even heard of it. I just saw the release date. I'm like, what the hell is this? I figured you would like it.
Not super wide, but going again, because it isn't the horror movie like a Final Destination, which appeals to kind of a popcorn horror film where you kind of have some fun with it. This is not fun movie.
All right, so when I was at Lilo and Stitch, I thought of a question for you because they were talking about what movie was it? How to Train Your Dragon, right? That comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they ran, and it looks great. And again, I can't wait for that because my kids love that movie as well. It looks fantastic. But they were talking about before Lilo and Stitch, they ran some 90-second bit about Screen X or something that it's called. And it was supposed to be like semi-immersive because it kind of goes around. So I'm like, it's not quite an IMAX. Like, what are they talking about here? Do you know what I'm kind of half asking you?
Yes.
So give me what's about to happen.
I've not seen it yet. I've seen the same thing you have, and I've heard about it. It's just basically, I forget, if I remember correctly, it's the theater that'll have a screen in front of you, and then if you imagine having two screens the same size, one on your left and one on your right.
Yeah.
And then so you get immersed, so then you'll be watching what's happening in front of you, and then on your left and your right, you'll be like looking at windows at what would be happening on your left and right.
But not a curved screen, so like truly like right angles, all three sides, essentially. So we're talking just three walls, not a curved screen. Or you're not sure?
It is curved.
I'm not sure. So yeah, but I believe I remember. I know exactly what we're talking about. It isn't just a screen that's wider. It is, I believe, and I haven't seen it yet. I believe there's extra filming, like you would film with more cameras.
Yeah.
So the screens may be connected at the front if you wanted to, but it would give you a different. It isn't just a stretched out thing. I believe it's three different shots. But again, I've only seen it in concept. I've not seen it done.
Sure, Zachary. Since you just went to Disney, I wonder if it would essentially feel like Flight of Passage or something where it feels like you're in the movie. And for a movie like How to Train Your Dragon, that might be kind of epic.
That'd be sweet.
But again, where are these screens? Like, do we have one in Minnesota?
No, not that I know of. And they're very, very expensive. And, none of it's subsidized or anything. So if you want to spend, whatever, $500,000 upgrading one house, and then how many movies do you get that are filmed that way? So it's really early on, and it's going to take some money to implement.
There's one in Shaka.
And it would only be in the largest markets because you have to have enough people to pay up. Your upcharge is going to be pretty great on it to cover the cost of that screen and the extra cameras and stuff.
Gotcha.
Marcus Theaters unveiled its Screen X Theater in Minnesota earlier this month. The 270-degree screen debuted at the opening of Thunderbolts at South Bridge Crossing Cinema in Shakopee.
Whoa. Wow. Let's hope that's the future of movies, because that sounds like it's a game changer. If it feels like you're surrounded by the movie. Again, there's a lot of movies that wouldn't make any sense for, but a movie like this would be unbelievable.
At Mall of America, didn't we have that guy come in on the after party talking about the B&B theater or whatever?
Yeah, but I don't remember what he said.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the.
I thought that one also was one of those wraparound.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's hope so. All right. Anything else we got to keep our eye on or not?
Nope. Like you said, Ballerina from John Wick next week, and then Dragon the week after that. Be one of the biggest movies of the year.
Yeah, it looks really good too. All right. Thanks, Mr. Z. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Bye. There he goes. Mr. Z, you can find him on Twitter at Mr. Z Movies. Yeah, it looked immersive. It looked overwhelming. Shakopee. All right.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Right on.
Is that the same bit that they have at, isn't there a sports book in Dallas where you can watch the football games like that? Is that something different, Zacho? You know what I'm talking about?
COSM?
Yeah.
COSM, I think
kind
is
of
what
the
it's
same
called.
thing?
No, that's basically like a mini sphere. And at least a mini sphere, like screen wise, and they have deals with, and it's really cool. I hope they come here, man. All the reviews for that are awesome, but they have special deals with the leagues where they have special cameras at sporting events that where you're sitting there, and there's the only way you can tell is by Googling it, COSM, but the results are amazing. You basically are there when you're watching the game. Like everybody loves it, and so hopefully they come here someday.
Mm-hmm. All right, we will do What Really Matters after this, scores and stats around the world. Chris will change your life with something else. Marnie in like 30 or 40 parishes right around the corner. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Happy Friday, 6:40, Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. Van Ginkel talked to the press as the Vikings were doing OTAs this week, as you guys well know. And he's super duper excited to have signed an extension.
I love this place. I love this organization. It's a family atmosphere, and, it's a big part of who I am. It's kind of my background, and, just thankful for my wife and kids, and being able to be in this city, this organization, state is a blessing.
Is it just me, or does he have like a 10% Irish accent? Play that again.
I love this place. I love this organization. It's a family atmosphere.
Just 10%.
It's a big part of who I am. It's kind of my background, and, just thankful for my wife and kids, and being able to be in this city, this organization, state is a blessing.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to Andrew Van Ginkel on May 30th.
Have you met him, Hogs?
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
Seems like a great guy and a hell of a player.
Yeah. And that flow is the real deal.
It is. Especially when it's taking one to the house, you just see that beautiful mane.
So good.
Flapping in the wind.
You got to be right. Gun to your head. Pick 6 for Andrew Van Ginkel in 2025.
Yes. I think the defense is going to be better.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a hard thing to bet on, right? Even though he loves to jump that little route, but man, that's a tough bet.
And statistically, it's tough. More.
He did almost have another
one
more
for sure.
Yeah.
Was it the Arizona game? Maybe.
I think it was the playoff game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was
real close.
I think didn't he also have one in the Lions game?
Maybe it was the Lions one.
I think he had one.
It was one of the big games, and that would have
changed everything. Might have been the only points we scored.
we needed that.
Let's do What Really Matters, scores and stats around the world of sports. In between, Chris will change your life with something else, and it's brought to you by our friends at Carboni's. Carboni's Pizzeria.
That sounds good.
I need some. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Carboni's bangs.
Well, you had
a
Carboni's a minute ago.
Yeah, during the break.
Yes.
You didn't share?
All right, how do we feel about this? The 2028 Olympics, right? They have flag football. Congratulations to the flag football players around the world that are not real happy that some of the NFL players are going to be in it.
Don't get hurt.
Patrick Mahomes says he's basically not going to be, quote, I'll probably leave that to the younger guys. He went on to say there's a lot of scrambling in flag football, not just sitting there and throwing. So he will be just shy of 33. And is heavily saying, I don't think I'm going to jump in there.
Think of, for him especially, what's on the... I mean, one weird Teddy Bridgewater type thing, or even like you roll an ankle or something. I don't want Justin Jefferson playing in it. I don't want any of our guys doing it.
What if McCarthy, who can scramble, what if McCarthy wants to...
He'll be what?
Wrap him in bubble wrap.
I mean, they could lose more money in L.A. than Luka. Oh.
Anyway, Mahomes not going to play flag football in 2028. What really matters is this.
So, admittedly, I'm just a hillbilly. But that movie that I really liked, that Mr. C thinks I'm an idiot for liking, there's 3 things from that movie that I found, and I like it when somebody takes like a real thing and makes it into a fictional account. You know what I mean? So there were 3 clues in this movie that aren't plot spoilers, but things I didn't know that really existed. Did you know there was a thing actually called the Wicked Bible?
Never heard of it.
No.
All right. In 1886, they printed a no, that was not from me. From 1631, I should say. In 1631, a printing of the Bible went out that had 2 misprints in it. And it's been known since then as the Wicked Bible, and they're very, very rare, obviously, and they're very, sought after, as you can imagine. But the thing that makes it wicked, the Wicked Bible, is it's a copy of the Bible that was accidentally printed with one word omitted. Not. One of the 10 commandments in the Wicked Bible is, thou shalt commit adultery.
Whoa.
I think that was on my ex-wife's nightstand.
Yeah, I specifically just wanted to read that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
How many were made, did they say?
There's only 10 remaining.
Yeah, there's only, there you go, right.
9
right.
remaining.
And part, that's part of the plot. I won't tell you out what part it is.
That's crazy.
Isn't that something? But they accidentally wrote, thou shalt commit adultery.
How does that happen?
And there, when you're talking 1631.
Right, it's not copy and paste.
No, that is legitimately, one human error.
You're not going to see the red squiggly line under it that there's a typo.
Right.
How is any book from that time period still around? They have to have it in some type of protective.
Right.
Like think of the paper, how fragile
Should
it is.
just blow away like dust in the wind.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the guy who's reading it and sees that and goes, hey, honey, get over here. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
See
you later.
This isn't a sin.
I told you I have to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
The Lord told me to.
The Wicked Bible. Yeah, pretty cool. So that's one of them.
I think that's the one my dad read, too.
Yeah.
The NFL announced 5 nationally televised preseason games, and yes, the Vikings are one of them. The Vikings will play at the Titans Friday, August 22nd at 7 p.m. national TV. I don't know, is it Prime, CBS? I forget which one we got. It's one of the nationally televised games, though.
Right on.
I didn't write it down because it doesn't matter. It's one of the main 5 or 6.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I love football, but my God, just look outside. How beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you frantically Googling? I wonder how long this is going to take.
He's trying to order. Oh, no. It doesn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't say on the website, on Vikings.com.
Preseason
CBS on the second.
Yep, CBS.
Yeah.
CBS. Hall of Fame game is on NBC.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Chargers
we
and
don't have to watch it.
Lions.
We'll be there.
Yeah, Hawk and I'll be there.
Then August 17th, Bills and Bears on Fox. Bengals and Commanders August 18th on ESPN. Patriots, Giants, August 21st on Prime. Then Vikings, Titans.
Hell yeah.
Friday, August 22nd, 7 o'clock. So that's is that the first Friday of the State Fair?
Yes. So Hog's Daddy will be gone, which means he can't do a Saturday show either. They have a late
Can't
flight.
do. I'm sorry.
Can't,
I want to. I can't.
I don't think they come back till Monday.
They don't come
morning.
back until sometime Thursday.
Yep.
I can't. I'm gone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the first Thursday of September.
That's right. That's when they come back.
Yeah.
But what really matters is this.
We all know about the Lusitania, right?
Mm-hmm.
The giant ship that was sunk that basically started World War I. Here's what I didn't know till I watched that movie. One of the famous world multi-millionaire businessmen, one of the richest people in the world, was on that ship. It was a passenger ship, not just a ship, a passenger ship. Vanderbilt, Alfred Gwynn Vanderbilt, was on that ship, along with 4 other really, really wealthy or famous people. And he had some of his greatest accumulated
prized
paintings and possessions on there. And apparently they had waterproof safes. So at the bottom of the ocean in the Lusitania, there are still priceless things that could technically still be available.
Why don't we get like a submersible and like the 5 of us just go down there and get it?
Yeah.
We'd be rich.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
One of us can bring like his son against his will.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Too soon.
Isn't that what happened?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Isn't Anderson Cooper a Vanderbilt?
Sure.
He sure is.
Okay.
He sure is.
So that was his grandfather?
I don't know that. Let me look. I can take a look. La 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 la.
Would probably be great.
Great-grandfather.
Because 1915.
Well, there were a few Vanderbilts, though, so I'm not sure if it might have been his great-great-uncle or something.
Sure.
Because I think, I don't know. I'm looking right now. Hell of a legacy.
What a cool-sounding name.
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Sounds like a fictional character as well, like a Lord of the Rings character.
I don't know. I just forgot what I was looking for, so never mind.
Whether or not it's Anderson Kutcher's grandfather or great-grandfather or uncle or whatever the deal is. The Twins were off yesterday. They are at Seattle tonight at 9:10, which is kind of crazy because the last team they played was Tampa in Tampa. That's a little over a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
So that's not that unlike the New York teams going to London. Because that's about a 7 and change hour flight. So, sure, the Twins had a day off in between, but that's a 6-hour flight. That's essentially flying internationally.
That's a poke.
How often does that happen? That either the Mariners or the Rays have to make that trek, let alone a random team going from one team to the other?
It was
Good
one of
question.
the good question. It was
Tonight at 10.
One of the problems, like when they're trying to figure out this Oakland Athletics situation, because they talked about potentially playing in Florida, but the problem with that is the travel, the six-ish hours from California to Florida, which is probably a little bit less than that, but still, that's why divisions in baseball are pretty important, particularly the National and American leagues and all that, keeping the teams in their general area.
Don't want to tire those guys out before they play a game of catch.
Right. But the difference between that and hockey or football or basketball is you go there and then stay there for 3.5 days, right? In general, it's not like you're leaving the next night. So a 6-hour flight, you play one game and get out of there. You're staying for 3, at least. I don't know.
I feel like
you said, it's baseball. They'll be fine.
The baseball schedule makers, though, the NFL one's insane, but baseball, that many games, that's got to be
a lot.
Wild.
Yeah. Then you, in the first month or two, you have about 90,000 rainouts, and you're like, how the hell are we going to fit the rest of these games in before the end of the regular season? What really matters is this.
We're all familiar with the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Well, that one specifically was built in the 1800s.
Is that where Mike Posner took a pill?
Sure.
Very clever.
Not really.
Very clever.
I thought
I
that's
like
fine.
that. You took a pill near Giza.
This is the nicest way I can say this. That wasn't your worst joke.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Man.
Well, so again, one of those things from that movie last night that turns out to be real that I didn't know. The Great Pyramid of Giza has chambers beneath its structure, including underground chambers on the hill where the pyramid stands. These chambers were initially intended as burial places for King Khufu. Recent research using radar pulses has also suggested the presence of a vast underground complex beneath the pyramid, including potential structures, chambers, and tunnels. The underground network has been the subject of much speculation, while some suggest it might contain the legendary Hall of Records, an ancient library rumored to hold lost knowledge of Egyptian civilization. So they're still investigating these things, but they're trying to do so without disturbing it too much, as you can well imagine. But looking at a diagram of what they think it might involve, I can't even believe it. Like the scientific nature of what they built underneath this giant thing that they can't explain how they built anyway is amazing.
You got to go find it.
It happened 1,800 years ago. I mean, how in the hell did they do that?
You've got to find a way to do it without the thing collapsing or whatever. Like, just think, like you said, think of what's in there.
Well, according to Hot Ass Randy, it can't collapse because what you see above the sand is just the tip of a giant, like, skyscraper that aliens built.
Yep.
Isn't there like
It's just the tip.
Hot Ass Randy's done a lot of drugs.
Isn't there like an ancient Bass Pro Shops in there too or something?
I don't think there was a lot of fishing in the 1800s.
I'll ask Randy.
I think that's the one in Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
The Washington Capitals mistakenly sent out emails to season ticket holders calling next season Alex Ovechkin's last season. The Caps are now saying no decision has been made on his future, even though next year is his last year on his current contract. He turns 40, Zach, in September, I think is what I read. Is he 39? Is that right?
Yeah.
He has said in the past that he intends to play next year. That would be year 21. But somebody jumped the gun and sent out emails to season ticket holders being like, you better get your tickets now. Last season for Ovi.
Yeah.
They're like, dummy. Yeah. Even if that's the case, we weren't supposed to send that yet.
Yeah, relax.
So they're kind of getting accused of jumping the gun and jumping the shark, because if it is his last season, you do want to promote it to basically say, this is your last chance. This is the victory tour. But no announcement yet out of Alex Ovechkin. Whoops.
Ooh.
Is that fireable? I mean, it's got to be close to fireable. That's a huge mistake.
I mean, it's not like you tweeted how bad the GM is at a Vikings draft party.
Sure. But what really matters is this.
A Delta Airlines flight from Detroit to Los Angeles on Monday had to divert to Minneapolis due to a medical emergency involving a pet. A dog that was traveling with a passenger became sick, and after a veterinarian aboard the aircraft had tended to it, the decision was made to divert the flight.
Where did it divert to?
Minneapolis. Yeah. Medical personnel were on the ground awaiting the plane's arrival, met the dog and its owner after they disembarked. The flight was carrying 181 passengers, departed from Detroit, metropolitan Wayne County, was scheduled to arrive in Los Angeles some 5 hours later. FlightAware shows the diversion led to a total delay of 2.5 hours.
That's not awful, but
yeah,
it's frustrating.
Well, and here's the thing. I know my initial reaction was they diverted for a dog. I mean, I love doggies, don't get me wrong. Well, the article points out that there may have been significant disgust going on in that cabin.
That's different then.
That's different.
That's way different.
You know what I mean?
I've had that happen once, but it was a person, and I think we landed in Denver. We were going to Vegas.
Oh, no.
It was actually the trip that I proposed to my wife. So I had to get the ring through security without her knowing.
Right.
Which was tough enough because they were like, oh, what's this? Because I had a bunch of players' cards and money in a box, and I had that under it, and I was like, there's a wedding ring in there. And then we end up landing in Detroit, and I was playing Nintendo Switch. So I was like, what's going on? And then they wheel a guy past us in very, very, very rough shape. Perhaps is with the Lord now.
Yeah, and also with you.
And then we ended up in Vegas finally. But that was that might have been like an hour that we got there late. It felt like 20 hours because it's Vegas. But
going to Vegas when you're so excited, even an hour delay, you're like, please get me to the city as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it was coming back from Vegas?
Oh my God.
When all you want to do is get home.
Get home.
And they tell you some guys got it coming out both ends.
Yeah.
And you have to go to Denver, even to waste an hour. I think I would just throw Molotov cocktails through the window of the Denver International Airport and just hope that my plane burns with it.
They just had us stay on the flight. Yeah. They wheeled him off, and then they, cleaned up, I think, what happened. Have you guys had that happen?
We were, I think the only time I've ever flown first class in my life, a doggy defecated in first class. We were going to Vegas.
Man, what is it about Vegas?
Weren't we all on that plane?
Yeah, we were all on that plane, and I was given first class.
Yeah.
Because, I know somebody, and I'd never flown first class ever, and a doggy pooped all the way through first class.
Oh, my
God.
God.
This is what you get for thinking
So
you're
you had
cool,
to deplane then?
No, we stayed on the plane.
Really?
The flight went through and landed. They did their best to clean it up, but it was terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
Did they resume drink service?
Oh, yeah, I drank a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
I'd much rather put up with it. If the dog isn't, life or death,
going.
keep going.
I'm with you.
We don't need to land to clean an accident. Let's just clean it and do our best and keep going.
Yeah.
Get me there.
I'm the opposite of you, though, when it comes to going there or coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have it happen coming back. Because whatever, I'm going to get home. I know what I know.
You already feel terrible.
Right, whatever. I'm more excited. I want to get to, like the worst part of Vegas, as we talk about, is landing and just getting to the damn hotel and going through all that stuff.
Well, that's the excitement and hope and all those things.
All the possibilities are still there.
We could be rich.
Yeah. There are times on the plane on the way home you don't mind if it goes down or not.
Correct.
Exactly. Yes, you are correct, sir.
Can I borrow that dog? I just want to squeeze it over the top of my head for a second.
Let me milk this thing.
Let me have that dog do to me what the world's doing to me right now.
Just treat it like a ketchup bottle. Who cares?
It's over anyway.
God, I wonder who would do that.
Hawk's dad, Dwight.
No. Again, say Dwight. I don't mind, but don't say
Dwight
my dad.
Hawkey
Okay,
would
thank
love
you.
that.
I appreciate it.
He would have rolled in the aisle.
Yeah. Well, your dad would have been having sex in the bathroom, so don't worry.
With you.
And also with you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, gross. One more segment out of Johnny K. Paris should be here in a second. Marnie Gellner in about a segment or so. 1 hour and 15 minutes from now, we'll play initials, and one of you gets a crack at $92,000. $92K up for grabs with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union initials jackpot. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Okay, have you heard about this? Last year, Degree changed the formula for their Cool Rush deodorant. Their fans rebelled and wanted the old scent back. And Degree listened. That doesn't happen often.
They admitted that they effed up and are bringing the original Cool Rush scent back. And it's exactly how you remember it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. There's a reason it's the #1 men's antiperspirant. And it's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores for under $4.
So try it and see what the fuss is about. Head to your local stores to try the OG Cool Rush for yourself.